This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We wish you a very Merry Christmas today. We're broadcasting from the Concierge Landscape Studios, and we're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors. Let's hear from the Community Associations Institute now. The CAI Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all of your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Are you a member of the Community Associations Institute? For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit caionline.org to learn more. The address again is caionline.org. CAI helps community associations board members by providing online resources, in-person training, and hard copy publications written by association management experts. CAI offers community managers professional development, networking opportunities, and a certification program that is established as the industry standard nationwide. Minnesota has its own chapter of the Community Associations Institute to bring resources and tools from community associations around the country right to your home. Visit www.cai-mn.com to learn more and become a member of CAI today. Your community and management company will benefit from your involvement. Join the Community Associations Institute today at cai-mn.com and click on membership.
So, Gene, we're talking about fair housing and staying in compliance with fair housing, and the story was about an age discrimination issue. Mm-hmm. Our Matt Lepkus, the property manager at New Concepts, has been dealing with a familial status issue, which is another protected class, but it actually started out with an occupancy restriction in a homeowners association. And I want to make that clear to people that the occupancy restriction doesn't say anything about the age of the people in the household or whether they're under 12 or over 12 or anything like that. It's just saying 3 people only can live in the 2-bedroom apartment, no matter what their age.
Yeah, and that's what seems to be interesting with this this whole discussion. This is an example of organizations that are trying to test and push the bounds because they're so afraid of discrimination in any form whatsoever.
The intent of this was not to discriminate against children. The intent was to limit the number of occupants, but this tenant, this renter, turned it into something else and claimed, effectively this discriminates against me because I have children.
Now, Matt, you said that in this whole discussion and discovery from HUD who got involved, you said the owner of the property, who is the one who made the claims to the renter, they were released?
Yeah. Essentially, they've been released, and this really has two elements to it. There's what the issue brought up by the tenant, and then there's the issue that's brought up by HUD at this point regarding their documents.
Okay.
So they're each going to have their own type of resolution, and in most cases, when it comes to things like this, you just follow the money.
Yeah. So what is happening? There is sort of a resolution or mediation here. It's not going to court, right?
No, right. And most insurance companies will find that generally it'll be cheaper, more effective to just pay this out at some point.
Okay.
To negotiate some kind of settlement.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a dollar amount we don't know exactly yet, right? And that'll be taken care of by the association's master policy, right?
Yep, absolutely. This will all be covered under their insurance policy.
But going forward, they're going to have no occupancy restriction. Is that correct?
Well, what they're looking at now is to whatever HUD requires the amendment to be. And at this point, they're just going to change it to what their current restriction is. So now they're starting to spend money with an attorney who has written something up, and now they're presenting this to HUD saying, is this okay? Right? Essentially, yeah.
And HUD will say yes, or if HUD says no, then it goes back and...
Oh, so HUD won't state what it's supposed to be.
Heavens, no, that'd be too easy, Tony.
I see.
I mean,
see. HUD knows what it wants when it sees it.
They'll know what it is when they see it.
Gotcha.
I like that. Yes, exactly. And so that's what's taking place right now with you, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're gonna have to get homeowner approval to make the amendment to the declaration.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen if your homeowners don't approve.
Yeah, and that's a good question. That is a very good question.
You know,
Wow.
to me, that is an important distinction, Matt, because, it seems ludicrous to me for HUD to make the requirement say, well, you're going to have to change your documents, and that's going to require people to vote. And if people don't want to vote, people may vote not because they want to discriminate, but because they don't want to spend the extra money.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be costly all the way around. And, if the homeowners don't understand it,
Right.
or if they just, quite honestly, just don't want to accept change,
Yeah.
there's where you're at.
Good point.
Do you know what it reminds me of, you guys, is that the same thing happened years ago, and we talked about it on the show before, where someone would be transferring ownership of real estate, selling it to someone else, and there were clauses that used to be that are in, they say 30, 35, maybe 40% of all transfers of real estate from the beginning of our country up to the mid-late 1800s that said you cannot sell this property in the covenants to a colored person. And that's what it's described. Now, of course, we've had the 14th Amendment that's taking care of that.
Of course.
And at that point, they said, even though that's in the covenants,
Right.
we just consider it gone.
It can't be enforced.
And you would think, and Matt, wouldn't you agree too that if the government's saying that this is wrong, then why are they asking for this extra process to spend more money instead of just saying this is not going to be considered a valid concept? We consider it invalid.
Well, yeah, and that's the whole idea. I mean, a lot of these documents, and we see this all the time in older associations where the documents are, completely outdated and no longer applicable to today.
They no longer comply with what's going on. But I know why they don't do that. They would require an amendment to the Constitution, probably, that said this is no longer a valid issue. And HUD doesn't want to do that. HUD doesn't want to step forward and say we want it this way or it should be this way, or our legislators, because then they've got a big fight on their hands. Yeah. Because then everyone's going to be aware of what they're doing. And, I mean, this is going to affect landlords. We've always thought we can name the number of people that can live in our properties. This is saying, well, maybe not.
Yeah. Well, hey, Matt, thanks for taking some time to be with us today.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice
Thank you
to
for having
talk
me.
to you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Folks, that's Matt Lupkus, property manager with New Concepts.
That's right. No, the point that this article made and that we made in our conversation with Matt is that homeowner associations should periodically review their governing documents to make sure they're still in compliance with current regulations and current laws.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I tell you, some of the things that they're going through, again, this idea of guilty until proven innocent, I think is going too far. Or the idea that if someone is even wanting to test or push back or challenge what someone else is claiming as discrimination, that is almost looked at with as much vehemence as anything else, and that's too bad.
That's right.
If it is. Well, folks, hey, we're out of time. Thanks so much for being with us. We hope you have a great Christmas day, and join us next week right here on Where You Live.